Boss, we have found a wonderful way to make some decent cash in this day and age. And, the whole thing is when it comes to delivery business, it's a very competitive industry. So we have found that you can make a lot of cash in terms of opening a profitable school shuttle service. So in today's conversation, I want to talk to you about how to start a school transport business, okay? And here are the steps I really want you to follow. The first thing is you need to understand the industry. The whole thing is when we talk about school transport business, everything is about geography, your county, your city, your state, right? It's all about school board regulations. It's all about the demographics. It's all about whether you have families living in the neighborhood. So it's very important. You need to understand the industry. So school buses transport students to and from school, as well as between school events, field trips, camps, and other educational events. And companies also provide transportation for school employees to and from work. So school employees also. So what thing here is that as the population is growing, you have a lot of opportunities in this industry. Obviously, if you want to make money, in terms of having a school shuttle service, you need to take care of the demographics. Like you want to live in an area, you want to operate in an area where you have a lot of families, you have a lot of kids, a lot of students. Very important. So whatever you currently are, whatever state you are, whatever county you are, whatever city you are, you need to study your local environment and see, okay, what are the patterns here? Okay, do we have volume? Do we have foot traffic? You need that. Number two, you want to conduct market research and feasibility studies. What I'm trying to say here is you want to pay attention to things like demographics and psychographics. Psychographics means that you want to think about how people think and if they have the means to actually achieve their goals. What I'm trying to say here is, let's say, if you live in an area where you have you have a lot of families, but they don't have enough buying power, you can't really monetize your operation. So you want to make sure that they think they really want to invest in their children going to school via buses. Okay. By the way, welcome back to the show. I really appreciate having you here. I want to have a quick convo with you about how to open a school shuttle service. So number three, you need to decide what niche to concentrate on, okay? Because you can actually provide home to school bus transportation for students. You can provide bus transportation for extracurricular activities like school events, or you can provide bus transportation for employees. So there are three niches: providing home to school bus transportation for students, providing bus transportation for extracurricular activities, or providing bus transportation for employees. It doesn't have to be a bus, though. It can be another vehicle, but it has to be a vehicle that is regulated, that's compliant when it comes to people transportation. Number four, what I want you to really pay attention to is that right now you have a lot of competitors in the industry. In every industry, there are a lot of competitors, right? You have big companies, you have small companies, and you have everybody in between, right? Now if you want to get into this business as, let's say, as a sole proprietor, as an owner operator, you really have to understand the biggies in the industry, whom you are really against. Okay, you have a lot of players in the industry. You have like in the States, for example, you have a Cook County School Bus, you have a Grand Prairie Transit Lockport, you have Alpha School Bus Company. Like, the cool thing about school shuttle service, is that it's very geographic. It's really geographic based, okay? Because competition cannot be global. You can't have competition all over the country, right? It's either you focus on a county, you focus on a city, or you focus on a state. So that's pretty cool, because little players like you who are trying to enter the market don't have that much competition if you play your cards right. So you got to know the major competitors in your industry. So where you are currently at, in your city, in your county, in your state, in your neighborhood, you need to know whom you are going to fight against, okay? And then you need to decide whether you want to buy a franchise or start from scratch. See, the whole thing is, if you want to operate a school shuttle service, you have the opportunity to already leverage a system, a platform that already exists through a franchise program, or say, you know what? My ass is out of here. I'm going to start everything from scratch. I'm going to do things my way. So both options are possible. But again, it depends on your geography. It depends on the economic realities in where you are currently at. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We're having a conversation about how to open a profitable school shuttle service. Okay. And the next thing I want you to think about, I want you to think about the possible threats and challenges you will face. Because see, this ain't no easy industry. But hey, listen, it is profitable. Okay. If people are doing it, you can do it too. But you got to know whom you are up against and what you are up against. Okay. So think about the threats and challenges in your industry, in your geography. Now, I can't give you a long list of all the threats and challenges in your geography, but if you let us know in the comment section where you are at right now, we can tell you based on your location, well, the potential threats and challenges you might face. The next thing I want you to do here is to choose the most suitable legal entity. So when we talk about if you want to open a school shuttle service, you need to incorporate or you need to organize. So you can organize it as an LLC, LP, whatever it is, but it's just a lot better to have a company as opposed to operating as a sole proprietor. Okay. I mean, I'm not saying you can't do it, but you can't do it as a sole proprietor. I'm just saying that you have a lot of opportunities, a lot of, let's say a lot of benefits, including taxes, including business credit building, if you just have a business, a legit business. So you can choose to be an S corporation, C corporation, whichever, like whatever you believe is great for you, go ahead and do it. But have a company, okay? But overall, we would advise you to have an LLC. It's the easiest. It's really the fastest way to organize a company these days, whatever the state you're at. And then you have to choose a catchy business name. You have to think about whatever really resonates with your industry, with your geography, with folks around you. Make the name really catchy. Okay, it can be like I don't know, like there are a lot of names. There are a lot of names that you can choose from, but please make sure it is catchy, and it has to be family friendly though. Okay, it has to be family friendly. Family friendly. Remember, when we talk about opening a school shuttle service, we're speaking about transporting kids, aka like minors. So you have families involved, you have parents involved, you have the PTA boards involved, you have a lot of regulations involved, you have the school board involved. So you have a lot of regulators. So be careful. You have to be family friendly. You want to discuss with an agent to know the best insurance policies for you. You need to have insurance, boss. You can't do this. You can't play this game if you don't have insurance. Don't play with children's lives. Don't you try to be a cheap ass and try to really or stingy ass, or trying to really cut corners and not having the proper insurance. Do not do that. Okay, you gotta have insurance. You gotta have the proper insurance. I'm talking about general insurance. I'm speaking about motor vehicle insurance. In other words, comprehensive insurance. You got to have health insurance. You got to have liability insurance. You got to have workers' compensation. You got to have overhead expense disability insurance. You got to have business owners policy group insurance. You got to have a constellation of insurance. We're speaking about kids here. You are transporting people's offspring. You're transporting employees. You're transporting people. Have insurance. Next thing I want you to do here is to protect your IP, your intellectual property, with trademark, copyrights, and patents. See, the whole thing is if you are going to start your own school bus transportation services company, usually you may not have any need to file for IP, like protection, trademark. But if you think you have like some kind of trade secret, you have something that is totally unique to you, then file for IP protection. Next thing I want you to do here is to get the necessary professional certifications. The thing here is that, there are some certification that you actually might need if you are going to transport kids, you are going to transport students. And regulations are actually are diverse. They actually depend on the geography where you're currently at. And it also depends on your state. Some states are stricter than others. Some states are very lenient. It depends on a lot of things. So, again, you have to look for what's really happening in your state. Now, you might need to have a commercial driver's license. You might need to also have the IMG certification. This is International Motor Group Certification. You might also have so it really depends. And, I don't want to list all the licenses that you need here because again, everything is geography based. It's geo focused. Boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We're having a conversation about how to open a school shuttle service. Okay. And the next thing I want you to do is to get the necessary legal documents you need to operate. Obviously, you're gonna need to have an EIN, right? Like a taxpayer's ID, a fire certificate, a certificate of incorporation or organization, business license, business plan, NDA, non-disclosure agreement. You need to have strong policies in your company because you are going to deal with kids, so their family, their privacy is really important. So data protection, data privacy, those are really important. Make sure you have the insurance policy, employer's handbook, and so on and so forth. When you start and you are just by yourself, you don't need certain documents. But if you are going to have a fleet of vehicles operating under you, you need to have the employment agreement. You need to have employee's handbook and everything that revolves around employment. Next thing I want you to do here is to raise the needed starter capital. Now, if you have money yourself, or you have a family member who say, you know what, they're going to hook you up, financially speaking, not a problem. So you can just do the cash yourself. You can raise the cash yourself, not a problem. Or you can actually borrow. Yeah, you can borrow. You can sell shares in your business to investors. That's so you have a lot of possibilities, but you gotta have the funds. Now, in terms of how much it will cost, we can't give you a ballpark number here, because again, going back to what I've been saying throughout this show, opening a school shuttle service is a geography based endeavor. It's a geography based initiative. So like if I'm opening a school shuttle service in Brooklyn or Queens in New York State, I'm not going to pay the same amount if I'm opening, let's say, a school shuttle service in I don't know, like in Albany, in the same state of New York, or in Delaware, or in Rhode Island, or Massachusetts. It really depends on the cost of living where you are at. Okay, but make sure that you raise enough capital to sort of cover your initial startup cost, and you want to choose a suitable location for your business. Okay, now when we talk about having a bus, like a school shuttle service, your location is important. Remember, parents wants to make sure they're giving they're entrusting their kids' safety to a responsible man or woman. Okay, so everything around your business, everything around your car, around your shuttle van, anything around your business, from branding to the tone to the way you talk to the way. Everything must be super clean, because people are just you don't want people to start becoming like antsy when they think about you. Like, so you have to be presentable. Okay, I want you to forget about all those sort of like I don't know. You want to dress formally. You want to dress to impress. Very important. Okay, people are entrusting you with their children's lives, so be very careful here. So choose a suitable location for your business. You can start from work. You can start from home, not a problem. But as soon as you're able to do something better, I want you to move out. Okay, and hire employees for your technical and manpower needs if you need to. But again, I always want to say that you can always start a little by yourself, and then as you grow, as you scale, you can hire people. Not a problem. Next thing I want you to do here is to pay attention to something called marketing plan. So the thing is, your marketing plan must have ideas and strategies that will help you, hopefully, actually grow your franchise, grow your company, right? When you start, you want to start in an area where you really know that there are a lot of students. At least you have a decent base of students. But as you after a while, you need to actually expand. You need to think about new strategies. You need to think about new opportunities. It's all about constantly fighting, boss. You got to constantly fight. Don't actually sleep on your laurels. This will be a bad opportunity. This will be a bad time to do so. Okay, so make sure your marketing plan is packed with ideas and strategies. If you need help, we can help you. But see, the whole thing is you got to really introduce your business by sending introductory letters alongside your brochure, for example, to all the schools and households in and around the communities you intend on operating in. Advertise your business in relevant transportation and school magazines, radio and TV stations. Okay, make yourself available for transportation-related talk shows and interactive sessions on TV and radio. List your business on local directories, yellow pages. Attend international transportation expos, seminars, and business fairs. Okay, it's all about you being there. You got to be there. You have to join local chambers of commerce and industries around your neighborhood. You got to be there, boss. Okay, don't be a stranger. Then you need to think about the pricing for your services and products. Okay, this is important because again, at the end of the day, it's all this is a business. You're not a charity. Okay, you got to really monetize the whole operation, and it's really important to really think about what really works for you. When we talk about pricing, make sure you have a pricing that is reasonable, but it has to be reasonable in terms of it has to be a win-win situation. It has to be actually a win-win-win. It has to be a win for you as the owner operator. It has to be a win for the parents. It has to be a win for the school because you are transporting the students from their houses to the school. And if you happen to also transport school employees, you're going to have to also have a price. Now, the price might not be the same, okay? You can think about having pricing based on the age, for example, and also trying to have a competitive strategy to help you win. Have competitive strategies to help you win. This is kind of similar to what I was saying earlier in terms of marketing. Marketing is important, but you got to find a way to differentiate yourself. How do you differentiate yourself? Is it through your branding? Is it through the way you actually provide customer service? How maybe you know every child's name, first name, last name, you know everything about them, you know their birthdays, you actually interact very well with the parents. Is that your demeanor? Whatever it is, you got to have a distinctive trait that actually provides you with a competitive edge. Next thing I want you to do here is to brainstorm possible ways to retain clients and customers. Okay, see, the whole thing is when we talk about opening a school shuttle service, kids are growing, and some kids, when they grow, they're out of there, they're out of their parents' houses, and you might lose customers if you don't know how to play the game correctly. Or if let's say some families move out of town or whatever, you are losing customers. So you got to find a way. You got to always stay one step. You have to stay one step ahead of the trend to really make sure that you are doing the best of the best you can to retain as many customers as you can. And what I want to say here is that when we talk about this, we have to be really careful. And it's not about just constantly harassing parents. No, you want to be there, but you don't want to be there. Okay. Again, when we talk about transporting children, this is a very sensitive industry, and people are very antsy about actually entrusting their children to strangers, because you are a stranger. Even though before they actually allow you to do these things, you have to be vetted. As I said before, this is an industry that is heavily regulated. The school boards will get involved. Okay, the boards of education will get involved to see what's really happening, who you are, and kind of do some kind of due diligence, some kind of heavy background. So find ways to retain and retain clients and customers, and you always want to develop strategies to boost brand awareness and create a corporate identity. It's all about the branding. See, you have to be seen as a serious business. That's why I was just talking to you earlier. I said, you know what, you can start as an owner operator, but if you want to make money in this industry, if you really want to make some serious cash, some serious bank, you need to create a real company, a legit company, and start thinking about branding, and start thinking about having an identity for your business, and start communicating through certain, like you can communicate properly with your target markets, with the families, with the school boards. Okay, this is important. You can place adverts on transportation and school magazines and related newspapers, radio stations, and TV stations. You can actually encourage the use of word of mouth publicly when it comes to bring in more business to your company. You can actually reward word of mouth publicity. Okay, you can give discount to parents who refer new clients to you. So it is a win-win situation. You can even talk to the school board. You can talk to the school itself, the school where you are transporting children to. You can talk to them and say, listen, if you guys refer kids to me, I'm going to give you this and this and that. This is legal. This is not this is something that a lot of companies do. So this is fantastic, but you got to have that. You have to have a strategy whereby you are boosting brand awareness. People have to talk about you. People have to see you as a player in the industry, and also the community. You must be seen as a good force in the community. Okay. Very, very important. This is going to help you make money in the long run. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I quickly talked to you about how to open a profitable school shuttle service, and I give you the steps. Hopefully this will help you out. And if you need help please let us know. And in the comment section, we'll get back to you. And so I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.